Ladies and gentlemen, from the FCN studios, you are watching the Wooooo Show.
Welcome to the Wooooo Show. I am your host, Ep013, here with the lovely
T-Shack Talks.
And we're here to talk everything combat sports and wrestling, baby. Can we do it? Is this going to be our first Wooooo Show of the wrestling new year?
It is.
So, can we do some woos?
Okay, let me.
Ladies first.
Woo!
Woo!
I got practice.
I'll
come back next week.
Your woos are really good, though. Both your woos are, obviously, Tones is much more dominant in alpha woo.
Yeah, I'm more on my Charlotte Flair.
Please don't have a Charlotte Flair strut.
Those knees of hers can't hold up too much more weight. She's gonna have arthritis very young.
Oh.
41.
Don't put that on her.
I'm not trying to put it on her. That walk is what's putting it on me. That's what I think every time I see a strut. Ugh.
Good times.
Young times. Young arthritis.
Speaking of good times, ladies and gentlemen, did Conor McGregor have a good time this week? Right before UFC 223's media day, Conor McGregor acted a plumb fool and attacked everyone on a bus.
Hey.
What's your thoughts?
Hey. From the rumor mill, supposedly Khabib caught one of his ringmates, team members and everything, and basically was like, yo, where's Conor? You know, tough guy in it. This is the supposed. I don't know how true it is to it. This is from the rumor mill, you know, so at me if you guys know the real story. And basically, Conor came in and wanted to be a gangster. He watched too many Peaky Blinders episodes, and he wanted to be a wise guy. So, flew into the country just to start some crap. Ended up getting in trouble, getting locked up.
He threw a whole bike rack.
That's some strength. That's impressive.
A whole bike rack.
This was in New York, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes, this was.
They didn't have the bike rack bolted down in New York?
I'm not sure.
I don't know how they roll.
In all actuality, for me, Dana White has been hanging with Vince too long. He's telling the story with this baby.
He's totally on his WWE storytelling, want to catch the public eye during WrestleMania type stuff.
Yeah, because Dana White was at WrestleMania.
He sure was.
And so he's been hanging out with Vince like, hey, how can I get your money? How can I keep selling these tickets? Because the funny thing is, Conor has dropped, he was stripped of his title. So Conor has dropped 2 spots in the lightweight world because basically he's becoming the guy everyone hates again. Remember, everyone loved him when they had a villain in Money Mayweather.
Right.
But now that he's a villain again, give him a heel turn again, we're going to make some more money off this man.
They hope.
Yes, so they hope.
Speaking of making money, UFC 223 happened. What are some of the fight results? Ep013.
Well, we seen the Khabib, who is now the lightweight champion since Conor got stripped from it. Tony Ferguson, who was originally supposed to fight him, dropped out. Then the other guy who was supposed to fight him next was deemed, after weigh-ins, was deemed not healthy, medically cleared to fight. So it was basically an interim title match because he faced Al something another. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it went to a 5-round mix-up decision that Khabib won, but he did not look good for 5 rounds. He did not. By the middle of the 3rd round, he was winded.
I don't think anybody in UFC looks good in the middle of any fight, so
that could be true.
I'm not surprised.
I think it's a win factor. You know, we've seen it with the Conor versus Mayweather. You're not built for those long period fights. It got to the later rounds with the Mayweather McGregor. Mayweather let him have it, and it was the same thing. I mean, he got the victory, so a win's a win. But hey, if you're gonna keep on fighting, defending that championship, you're gonna have to do something, man. In response to that, Numjo's defended her title versus I forget her name, Joanna, because I can't pronounce her last name either. And that was that was probably one of the best slugfests I had seen in UFC in a long time. And these two women got after it to a 5-round decision win. And the Wisconsin Thug kept her title.
That's her nickname?
Thug, yes.
Okay.
And she knows how to play the piano. They had a great promo for her.
So she's a musical thug.
She's a musical thug. I don't think I want to deal with anything from Wisconsin right now.
Agreed.
Including the producer.
Okay, that was a shot fired. But nevertheless, moving on. Dana White has announced Nick Diaz is returning to UFC. Your thoughts, Hoke Tone?
If he can stay off the weed, this is a good thing. So he hasn't fought. His last fight, I believe, was like in 2015, 2016 versus Anderson Silva. He lost, but you know, this is the guy that really showed the spots, and we're gonna keep going back to Conor because all these guys Conor fought or have rivalries with, because right now that's the most interesting thing since John Jones can't stay off the drugs. He smoked some weed. He lost to Anderson Silva. It was turned into a no contest. And then because they are supposed to check in ever so often, they have 3 times to check in a year with the USDA to make sure they're not doping. He didn't check in none of the times. But when he finally did, he got caught with weed in his system. And now they've come to some kind of decision where it's going to be a year suspension, but they might waive it for some other reason. I think Dana White's paying people off.
Yeah, it just sounds like money.
It sounds like money.
Yeah.
Speaking of money, we have to go right into some of the big things that happened with WWE. I know you guys have a huge show today.
Yeah.
You guys have a huge show. But let's get into probably the biggest news in WWE right now. Carmella cashed in her Money in the Bank finally.
Finally.
To beat your girl, the queen. Woo! Charlotte Flair.
Who's girl?
Your girl. On SmackDown
took
Live.
The words out my mouth.
What are you guys' thoughts of Carmella's cashing in the Money in the Bank?
I mean, the way she did it was super dope. She came in, she came through, got it done. Didn't give anybody any credit but herself.
Yes.
She did her thing. It was a good little moment, especially for Iconic that was in the midst of that as well.
I was thoroughly impressed how they transitioned from NXT that quick. They didn't seem like they had any kind of spotlight fear or anything. They got up there and they put on a great promo.
Yeah, and I think other than them beating Charlotte, kind of beating Charlotte. I want to know what's next for Carmella. Like, does she just stay WWE champion? Does she? I don't know. I do think that her and Iconic will have a good back and forth. Mm-hmm. I think that'll be really good. Help get them over as well. And yeah.
So, do you think that it was always planned for her to cash in at the WrestleMania, or was it they seen the backlash they got after her ending the Asuka streak? And
that was backlash.
That was backlash.
Had to be because the audience reactions, like, I was pissed, the audience was pissed, everybody was mad. And like when you piss off the universe that's actually paying to watch these shows and paying for the network, they have to like do something. So if she's gonna lose, if she's gonna beat Asuka, she needs to lose it. The fact that she lost it to Carmella, no shade to Carmella, but that wasn't like, I didn't think it was gonna happen.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not touching it.
I'm
not touching it.
All
I'll
right.
say it.
Well, the next biggest news happened on Monday Night Raw, where WWE Women's Champion, two-time WWE Women's Champion Paige, came out and announced that she's retiring. Where the chants from the crowd were very sympathetic. They were totally on her side. Only to come out Tuesday night on SmackDown Live to be announced by Shane McMahon that she is the new GM of SmackDown Live. What are your thoughts, Hoke Tone and T-Shack?
Well, for me, I was during the her retirement announcement, I thought it was very bitter because I love Paige. Like, I've always been a Paige fan, and I thought that she was going to be completely done. So I was sitting there like, so nobody's going to come out on stage for her like they did Daniel Bryan? Like, I thought it was mad disrespectful to me. Yeah. Like, she's been a part of this. You know, she came in, when she came in, she was the first NXT champion. She had some great rivalries with some of the women, with the Bellas, with AJ Lee, you know, and continue on with the pushing of Absolution. I'm like, nobody's going to come out and show her no love? Okay. So when she showed up on SmackDown, I was like, oh, this is why she's been shouting out Daniel Bryan so much.
Yeah, because if you like listen to her words, she specifically said in ring. I am retiring from in ring. I can't believe that I didn't predict it, because when she came out, when Shane announced her, I was like, duh, like, why didn't I think of this? Like, it's clearly obvious.
Yes. And I'm excited to have a woman general manager again. I think that the regular feel between Stephanie and Kurt is great. So to have the same thing with Paige and Shane is gonna be good if Shane does stay commissioner.
Yeah, that is true.
Speaking of commissioners and GM and energy, how about Monday Night Raw with the promo between Kurt Angle, KO, and Sami Zayn, and Kurt Angle drops TNA's name disrespectfully, I might add, during said promo. What are you two's thoughts about that?
I feel like I heard a curse word when it was going on, because my ears like instantly perked up, and I was like, what did he say?
Yeah. I was chopping up some stuff to cook, and I was like, wait, what? Rewind it. My thought with that was really, was he able to do that? So, do Jeff Jarrett own the name of TNA?
Okay, so I think you're right. I think he owns it because now they're Impact Wrestling.
Yes.
So TNA really doesn't exist anymore.
Right. They're Global Impact Wrestling.
They're Global Impact. So he's saying TNA because Jeff Jarrett is now in the Hall of Fame and he kind of retains that name.
Right.
So, yeah, I think, it was a lot of shade in that.
It was a lot of shade. And
what do you think they were referencing?
TNA can't keep people. They can't pay people, baby. Those some short checks over there.
That makes sense because Vince is all about the dollar sign at the end of the day. So he'd probably come for your pockets and your money before he comes for anything else.
Do you think it was a shot about what we have coming up in the last segment of this show?
I definitely think it's a shot. It's a shot because.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead. We'll get to some stuff.
Okay. So, word around the social media streets is that Asuka and Charlotte had the match of the night at WrestleMania 34. I know you guys have an entire segment covering that, but I kind of wanted to start that up off top. Your thoughts?
Oh God, someone was.
Do you need some water?
Probably
Are
do.
you parched?
I am very parched. I'm thirsty for good matches. No. If that was the best match of the night, they had great segments. They had great hot spots. To me, I'll still give it to the Intercontinental Championship match, and it was, we weren't expecting Seth to win. I don't think any of us had Seth winning it, so that was surprising. Just the full intention, the technical differences between all three of the men, I had them for the night. My best match of the night.
Well, I kind of agree. I think it was one of the best matches of the night, if not one of the best matches. Maybe just because I was waiting to see it so bad. And, I mean, we're going to talk about obvious, but Mania was kind of lukewarm. So, yeah, I don't disagree at all.
I've gotten in winter lake water that was warmer than WrestleMania.
Okay.
Very disrespectful, but I like the analogy. That's pretty cold, bro. Speaking of cold and code, the Greatest Royal Rumble has announced a match between Rusev and The Undertaker, where Rusev went on Twitter and gave a very cryptic message. What are you guys' thoughts about that booking and Rusev's message?
Bury me slowly, bro. What?
Yeah, it definitely sounded like he already knows, like, it's going down, like, I'm not gonna win. But I'm have mixed emotions about this because, like, as much as we all love The Undertaker, he is retired, and I feel like he looks as if he's retired. No shade. And I don't want him to mess up his legacy because he keeps wanting to come back to help put people over. On the other hand, I am happy about Rusev getting his time with a big superstar. Mm-hmm. I think he deserves it. They keep playing him to the left at every moment. The audience is mourning it, so I don't understand like where the math is going wrong. Like, title plus Rusev equals money. At least I believe so, right?
Hey, I gotta agree with that. Every day is Rusev Day. Every day, my alarm clock.
Oh wow.
Is Rusev Day.
Oh,
Get up every day.
Shout out to Aiden English.
Shout outs to the WWE Drama King.
Yeah, I really hope he gets like at least 5%. Like,
run them checks, fam. Run them checks.
Because he's putting him over more than he's putting himself over.
And but it's just like you said. Why Taker? Like, there is no there. It literally came out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
There's been no kind of signs towards, no kind of pointing towards it, and it's just, oh, casket match, Rusev, Undertaker.
What?
Why is it a casket match? Like, are y'all ready? Are we finna see the last Rusev Day? Is the ghost of Rusev Christmas Day? Like, because that sounds to me like they finna bury him. It's finna really be a obituary, and Rusev is finna be gone.
You guys really think that that's what that sounds like to you guys?
Well,
Like,
the tweet sounds like he's saying that. I don't think that's what's gonna happen though. I don't think that's.
Bury me gently. It was very cryptic. But here's my thing. Here's my thoughts, right? First and foremost, Undertaker does what Undertaker wants to do. Mark does what Mark wants to do. That's number one. Mm-hmm. If he does not want to wrestle, he's not going to wrestle. Mm-hmm. However, this event does seem like this is pretty big for the company overall. They're making a huge deal out of this card.
You would think it's the fifth show.
You would think
it's gonna
that
be
this
a
is
regular
the
thing.
actual regular Royal Rumble, and it's at noon. It's in Dubai, like the first ever in Saudi Arabia. Like it's huge, right? But he's going up against Rusev in a match where he could easily put Rusev over. You know, so you guys really think that this is negative? Whose career does this most negatively hurt?
I think it most negatively hurts Rusev's.
Wow. Okay.
I think if he loses that match, we've seen casket match after casket match where once Undertaker buried them, we don't see them for months on end. So, and then they make a big return. So,
I mean, that's true, but I just don't think that's what's going to happen with the Undertaker not being a regular anymore. Like, I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm gonna agree with T-Shack here. I'm in suspense. I'm really in suspense what's gonna happen. This is very intriguing. But let's speak about intriguing and let's go right into now. You all's the good, the bad, and the ugly of WrestleMania.
And let me just say that I am excited for this because I don't think there's any other way to explain the weekend besides good, bad, and ugly.
yeah.
I think that sums it up perfectly. First things first, where are we actually starting with this?
You're gonna actually start with NXT. You're starting with NXT Weekend, NXT Takeover.
That was the best card of all shows all weekend.
It was so good. Like, I give them, pass them checks, please. Give them checks, give them money, give them my money. You
In
know,
my hand.
I went and got a Velveteen Dream shirt this weekend. Like, I was not playing. Like,
They put on a show. It was 5 matches. 5 matches.
that's it.
Some rivalries ended. So it had shocking all value. After the first match, I was on the edge of my seat. Like, this is what y'all opening up to? This is y'all WrestleMania?
I mean,
was
to be
done.
honest, it was the great. Like, it was the great of the weekend. Like, anything else, I don't know what they're going to do from here because that was just... And they introduced a new belt.
Yes, the North American title.
Yes. They had some turns, some heel turns, some stories, just...
It was stuff we didn't expect. It was certain things that we kind of called, but the way it was executed, it made it worth it. Even though you knew it was coming, the way it was executed, it was like, I love it. I love it. I had no complaints. I think they did choose the non-sanctioned match that they had between Gargano and Ciampa was a really, it was a great way to end a great pay-per-view. And I can be quoted saying that years down the line, 10 years down the line, they're going to use this card for the next generation of NXT wrestlers and say, hey, if y'all wonder how to book a card, this is how.
Yes.
If y'all wondering how to tell a story in a ring, this is how. You had the refs, they were pushing the storyline in the ring. They were controlling the pace great, but they weren't interfering or slowing stuff down too much.
Right.
It was a full great card,
And I personally can't wait to see Pete Dunne dog walk Roderick Strong. He's gonna dog walk him down to the ring.
This is going to be a great rivalry. You have the UK champion going after the Undisputed Era's Adam Cole, who's the North American champion. So we might have a faction battle, and I can't wait for it. Once we leave the studio, get home, I'm throwing on NXT ASAP.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What were your thoughts about the actual ladder match? I'm going to go on record and say that it was the greatest ladder match I've ever seen. Your thoughts on the ladder match?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Even better than the Edge moment.
Yes, yes. A lot of people go back to the Edge moment, him spearing Jeff. Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge and Christian, or Brew, whatever you want to call them, depending on your wrestling generation. They had magic, and they reinvented the ladder match. You added table. We always forget TLC is based on them three teams. But to see 6 men in constant rotation with one another, and they're changing out their different styles, different things that they did, like Ricochet jumping off of the rope into a super kick from Adam Cole. It was like, whoa, you didn't see that coming.
The neck breaker.
The neck breaker, yes. And
Killian with actually jumping on top of the atomic leg drop, on top of Ricochet on the ladder,
holding Adam Cole.
There's at least 10 moments in that one match.
Yes.
Who does that? In WrestleMania, maybe each match had a couple of moments.
No, I wouldn't even say that, because some matches,
I was trying to be nice.
Some matches were cut way too short, so we didn't get the high that we needed off of it. You know, you can't give me dope and then just pass me weed, like get high off this. It's like, nah, man, it don't work, baby.
Oh wow.
Oh,
don't work, baby. I need that dope, baby.
That was one hell of a connection.
Wow, yeah. Speaking of,
I got some good analogies tonight.
Okay, speaking of getting high, did you catch the glow? One of the best that you guys have to offer in the good category was Naomi's win of the inaugural Women's Battle Royal. Give it up for Naomi, everyone, in the studio. We got a lot of chocolate ladies in the house tonight.
I love when Naomi gets pushed. It just makes me so happy, especially to see one of the another African American get pushed on the show. I think that's beautiful. I think it's wonderful. I'm glad she won, and the way she did it, the way that she popped up behind Bayley, when I definitely thought Bayley and Sasha were gonna go for at least an extra, 5, 6, 7 minutes. No, she popped up and won the whole thing, and it was great. I don't appreciate her getting booed on SmackDown. I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, what was that about?
I just think she has haters. That's all it is. People do not want their champion of anything to look like Naomi or Jinder Mahal or anything like that. And this is the world that we live in, and that's what WWE always has, multiple people of color on their show, and it should be represented.
I agree with you. I think that Naomi winning was a great move.
And one of the better matches of that night.
One of the kickoff show to me was better than the main card, and that's something they're gonna have to address.
Yeah.
To boo Naomi, y'all boo Naomi, but y'all were just cheering for Alexa. And what is Alexa better at Naomi than?
It ain't wrestling.
It ain't wrestling.
It's absolutely not that.
And honestly, I believe that Naomi's mic skills are up on par with Alexa.
When she was
sitting there, you like, oh, you want to go? I snatch your edges. I was like, oh.
They have gotten better, because when she was holding the belt, I would be like, but they've definitely gotten better.
So I don't know why they were booing her, but
yeah,
congrats, Naomi. Shout outs to you. That you did dope, a phenomenal job.
Speaking of phenomenal, the next person up that you guys have in your good category would be Jinder Mahal's WWE WrestleMania moment. What are your thoughts on Jinder Mahal capturing the U.S. Championship?
I mean, the people hate it, but I love it.
I did not see that coming. I did not. That was the swerve of the night for WrestleMania for me. It was like, Jinder won? Oh, okay. Yes.
I think ever since he said you only want people like Randy Orton to be your champion, and that just put me over. I was like, yes, that's exactly what people want, and that's not what you're going to get. Jinder Mahal deserves. I mean, I've already mentioned it before, starting out with his previous group into what he is now. It's clearly the work has been put in.
Yes. He has the look.
And the suits.
The suits. He looks good as a champion. Mm-hmm. He's intelligent. You know, he speaks because I think he speaks, for sure he speaks, what's the Indian language?
Well, one of them is Punjabi.
Punjabi. He speaks Punjabi. He speaks French. And he speaks English. He's intelligent, man. He knows what he's doing. His moveset is great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He has the goons with the Singh brothers. Mm-hmm. So, what else you need in a guy?
Listen, he has amazing heel heat, though. Like I haven't seen someone have legitimate heel heat. Like the crowd, if you have someone that's being booed legitimately and he has that level heat, you push him as a heel. And there's nothing better than to have Jinder Mahal with the strap. Mm-hmm. There's nothing better than put Jinder Mahal with the strap. Especially right now, I think the U.S. Title is very coveted. And I think that he will do well in that division. Mm-hmm. And I think whomever they put in the program with Jinder will be great. Moving on. Your next good is Mark Henry's Hall of Fame speech. Your thoughts?
Yes, so I got done with the Hall of Fame a little bit late, but I will say Mark Henry definitely had some tears going. I appreciate it. It was so good. His whole message about being inclusive and the struggle he went through, it was a good moment to me for the weekend. Definitely topped Mania.
Yes. And the fact is, when he said certain things, it stirred you. John Cena, I got a title run for you, and he's calling out certain people where you was like, that would have been a dope program to see them in for a title. And I think he had one of the better, he didn't have the best, but he had one of the better speeches.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay. Speaking of enjoyment and maybe speech of the night, how about Mr. Jarris J.J. Robertson? What do you guys think of his Hall of Fame induction as being a Warrior recipient?
I think that he had, like you said, to me that was the best speech of the night here at FCN in our mentoring classes because, as we all know, I am not funny. We always talk about for comedians, the thought of three. What's the exact term? Three count of three or something.
The rule of three.
Rule of three, and he had that. He had everyone laughing. It just seemed like a very thorough, enjoyable moment, and he brought I felt absorbed by his speech. Cracking jokes on John's. When he said, I got a better chance of making it to the WrestleMania than John Cena. I was like,
he is brave.
He is
brave.
And it was very coveted speech. I loved it. I loved it.
Yes. He definitely did a lot better than others off tops. Yeah.
Y'all cracking me up. Okay, so let's move into your bad. You guys have Mania is just overall bad. What made WrestleMania 34 such a
bland,
unseasoned
chicken
of a WrestleMania for you?
It's really it's like going to what's a great steakhouse, going to a Ruth Chris, just having top of the line New York strip, and then the next week somebody takes you to an Outback and they kind of overcook your steak, and it's edible, but it isn't like what you had last week. Mm-hmm. That is exactly what happened this weekend. I couldn't even fully enjoy Mania because I was still thinking about NXT and how good it was.
Yes.
I think one of the things that hurt them is that their storylines this year were very last minute. There was no. It was a quick build.
Yeah, it was way too much. Y'all tried to compartmentalize it to the last 3 weeks before WrestleMania. There was no real build up of story.
They could have had Alexa Bliss truly turn on Nia months ago.
And we could have been trying to get Nia to get Alexa for the longest time.
And that would have been a good back and forth. Like,
I think another thing was a lot of times I come for the presentation. With us, with what we do in cameras and videos and etc., we come for presentation. You know, that's why we are always giving you great content here at the FifthColumnNetwork.com.
Wow, look at that promo.
Hey, you like that?
You trying to buck for some type of raise or something around here?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
So, they didn't have any standout entrances this year. The Usos didn't. I mean, the Usos had a good entrance. The New Day
outfits were lovely.
They were great. I'm not gonna say lovely.
I almost made them say lovely. That was great.
Grown men. They were great.
They looked amazing.
The New Day had their entrance, which was weird. I felt like I was in
like Alice in Wonderland type of.
Alice in Wonderland, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, some raper man's van.
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Whoa! That took a turn. That took a turn.
Something was very weird.
This is a PG-13 show.
Okay. Triple H is the person I come to see's entrance, and usually he's had some of the best entrance of all of WrestleManias, and he revamped his one of his last few WrestleManias. Just drove out on a motorcycle, except this time Stephanie was.
I think the budget cut was clear. It was very clear and very evident.
Brock, we gonna have to renegotiate your contract. We can't afford entrances, man.
No, I think you're absolutely right, but they spent it on people that I didn't expect. Like Brock got his explosions back. He got, and that was it. And the Miz had some 3D graphic that
looked
up.
nice.
That was probably
that was nice.
That was probably the hottest one.
Asuka had the same with all her different masks.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Did you catch all the different masks? That was nice. That kind of got me, but everything else, I just thought I was watching a long episode of Raw.
A very long episode of Raw.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of long episodes, you all also thought that the booking was a bad decision of WrestleMania. Talk more about the bookings.
So, Shinsuke lost to AJ. That's one. That's okay. We're gonna get to that. You end the streak for Charlotte? So hold on. You mean to tell me for the past 3 years, y'all built up the Terminator? Y'all built up the queen of all destinies. She controls everything. The Empress of Tomorrow. Meaning that she decides if you will live tomorrow. She'll choke you out. She'll knock you out. She'll pin you. Anything. And y'all built her up just so she can lose to Flair? To Charlotte?
Yeah, you guys have that as your ugly. And so this is what I want to say about that. About those two matches. To me, those were two of the ugliest. And I'm going to say why. You have 2 Japanese, 2 foreigners, 2 people of color, male and a female demographic win the Royal Rumble. And you give them an automatic bid at WrestleMania to choose their champion of their choice for the title. You have 2 foreigners, 2 Japanese, 1 male, 1 woman go to WrestleMania, and they both lose to 2 Southern whites.
Blue eye, blonde hair, all that.
And I don't know, fam. To me, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't care what anyone out there has to say about it. I think that was ugly. I think it was like, wait a minute, you build her up to be this force of nature. And that we all thought, for creative wise, for booking wise, we said, hey, you want to have the payday of all paydays. It is Asuka, undefeated streak, going up against Ronda Rousey, the most dominant force ever to step inside of an octagon. She held her own. And did you see what she did to Triple H? Yes. She literally picked Triple H up and held him. It, like, she looked impressive. And for you to destroy all of that for Charlotte Flair, who didn't need it. She did not need that notch. So I thought that was very ugly, and I agree with you there.
Yeah. Bad. Usos lost the titles to Bludgeon Brothers.
The match was 5 minutes long. They didn't even get. I ain't see no super kicks together. Like, they didn't even get to hit their stride before the bell was rung.
It was a WrestleMania squash match.
Yeah, if I've ever seen one.
That's ridiculous. And speaking of which, we had another great performance on SmackDown between Usos and New Day.
It's like, what do they have to do to get their props? What do they have to do? Like, this was clearly their moment, and they lost it. Not saying that
Bludgeon Brothers?
Yeah, not saying that they don't deserve, but their new gimmick just came on the scene. Like,
yeah.
To put it over on WrestleMania when we haven't seen New Day compete in WrestleMania for what? This was their first in 2 years.
It was. Did they before?
I know they hosted last year.
I know they hosted.
And the year before that, they were in the ladder match, I want to say, with the Lucha Dragons and all that great stuff. And the Usos.
Never.
So.
And they've been hot since they jumped out. Like.
Yeah, it was just really weird to me, man. I don't know what y'all was doing. That booking was horrible.
Terrible.
Awful. Well, speaking of terrible and awful, your last ugly is none other than Mr. Decisive Republican gun fanatic Kid Rock. His Hall of Fame speech. T-Shack, I know you had a lot to say about that. The floor is yours.
I don't even want to spend too much time on this because he's not worth the time. His speech was so unliked and so inappropriate for the moment. He didn't even look like he was ready for the day. He looked like they called him maybe 2 days before and was like, hey, we need you to come through. We're going to give you this award, so on and so forth. And he just went in his dirty clothes laundry bag and fanned out some old jean button up something and then went and grabbed a hat and put it on and went on for his day.
Just like a regular dirty white boy.
I didn't say that.
But
I just didn't appreciate his speech, especially in New Orleans, as much as they've gone through. And you pick your time to talk about doing a suplex to Democrats when Vince clearly told you not to even go there. It was gross, and I just feel like we're giving awards to mediocre people. Yes. That's all it was, because he didn't deserve. Had Mark Henry came out there doing any of that, just a quarter of what he did, they probably would have took his ring back.
They probably would have. Mark Henry come out there, hey, give that championship to somebody black.
Uh-oh.
Done.
Mic cut.
You gotta go.
Well, that was a very contentious sore spot for the entire program. So let's move on to the winners and the losers. Your first winner, Seth Rollins. How big of a winner do you think he was during WrestleMania?
Big.
I didn't know it was going to be that big.
I did not know it was going to be that big. Because when he came out the next day, he cut a good promo. And when he said, this is the loudest I've ever heard that burn it down.
And it was loud.
It was loud. And people did not stop. They were cheering for him. They pushed him very heavy. So, and let's be honest, the Intercontinental is the most prestigious title on Raw.
Yep.
So we may be seeing the beginning of the Seth Rollins era, Monday Night Rollins.
That's gonna be a real thing. That the way they were reacting, I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready either.
Okay, so what about the New Day versus the Usos? Big winners?
Yes.
They always win when they're in the ring together because their matches are so on point. I don't care which New Day is in the ring. Like, y'all talk about Xavier, but he did that.
He did that.
He did that. Like, some of the dual finishers they had were really good. I just really like the Usos and the New Day together.
Yes. I for them to constantly be in battles with one another and to steadily up the bar every match, where I don't get bored, where I'm not fast forwarding it through, you know, which I do with most of Randy Orton matches. It goes to show that they have that chemistry, and no matter who's winning that match, we as fans are winning. We as fans are winning.
It really does not matter.
So, did you guys see that you have some comments on Facebook?
Yes.
Are you gonna, Tiff? Are you gonna address some of these comments really quickly? I'd like to get into those comments.
Okay, let's see. We have Joe. I don't want to mess up your last name.
Helfrick.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. How many have gotten the Grand Slam? How many people have gotten Grand Slam? Because he just said that all of the Shield have
all the
it.
Shield.
Cena has it.
This, mind you, is the new format for the Grand Slam.
Right.
Is what they're saying. So modern era and new format Grand Slam champions, like you said. So all three members of the Shield have it. Randy Orton has it. John Cena has it. Who else?
That's a good
No. It's I think it's 2-3 more people. Oh, I think Big Show. Big Show was on the list.
Big Show, yep.
Daniel Bryan.
He is a Grand Slam.
Daniel Bryan is a Grand Slam champion. Those are the people that I remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if we
we'll fact check it and we'll get back to you. Let's see what else. Josh Cohen says it felt like they forced matches to fit stories they want to tell going forward, but also gave the impression they have no idea what they want to do going forward.
That's an interesting comment. I would have to say, like, WrestleMania is actually where the year's storyline is supposed to end, and Monday Night Raw is where the new storylines start. I think that they achieved that very well with Monday and Tuesday night on Raw and SmackDown, respectively. But I think that they did not conclude the storylines very well. So I definitely see what he's saying there.
Left doors still open. Questions to be answered.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Nicole Thomas says, "Long live the Undertaker."
No.
Why not? Why are you guys not long living Undertaker? He's Taker, baby.
He's Taker, you know, and he's an immortal. Don't get me wrong, but
I just don't want him to tarnish his legacy.
Yeah, we have to get past this attitude era is always going to be the greatest era. We're moving into a golden age of wrestling. We have to start acknowledging these other wrestlers, and in order for us to do that, we have to take away certain people, you know? I think it's time for us to just, you know, do like Undertaker did last year. Leave that hat, them gloves, and that coat in the ring.
That was such a nice ending.
It was a nice ending.
That was such a nice ending.
Okay. Well, let's go back to the comments here. Joe Helfrick says, "Bad card. Taker squash Cena. Streak versus Charlotte. Rusev not win on Rusev Day. Brock, He also says Oscar versus Rousey, both undefeated. Next Mania would have been nice. Joe. I agree. I would even go on to say maybe even SummerSlam. Like, would we have to wait that long till then, and then maybe do like a part 2, or a three-way between Ronda, Charlotte, and Asuka. That would have been amazing. What do you guys think about that?
Yes,
I agree.
I do not know in what form of the multiverse that they decided this is going to be the best idea. Yeah, if Asuka was injured and she had to relinquish the title, that would have been better than having her drop her streak to Charlotte.
Okay. Well, you guys have losers in your losers category. You have SmackDown only having one NXT call-up, Iconic Duo, and Raw's already missed bookings heading into the 2018-2019 season. What do you guys think about that in your loser category? I have some thoughts, but I want to hear what you guys say.
I definitely expected more call-ups, especially after NXT Takeover. I expected a lot more call-ups than just Iconic, even though I really loved them on the show that night. Where is everybody else at? Because, like we said, NXT is no longer the rookie show.
It's the third show, baby. It's the third show. I thought that we were going to see some more guys called up as well. Especially considering the Women's Royal Rumble. We seen something, when we seen the NXT women beat up both the Raw and the SmackDown women and stand there like there's nothing y'all can do about it. That was a very, not to be, punny, but it was an iconic moment.
I see what you did there.
And
good job. Way to go, Tone.
Keep shooting, baby. I hit one.
Okay.
And I really wanted them to call more people up. I was ready for sanity. Oh,
that's a good. You know what? That's a really good point. I did not think of sanity. That's a very good point. That's a good point. So, but here's my thought. When we had the conversation off camera, during pre-production, we were having the conversation about this. I kind of disagree with you guys that the call-ups from NXT. I think that we had Authors of Pain, Ember Moon, No Way Jose, and Iconic Duo. Right? I think is that all the call-ups that happened. So you have
6 people altogether.
You have 6 people total, and then next week we have the shakeup. So I think that tag team is really going to add something to wherever AOP lands. And I think that No Way Jose is probably going to go over to SmackDown. I think they'll probably fare very well, but I think that they didn't have to call up too many people because the shakeup is happening. What are your thoughts about the pending Raw, SmackDown, WWE brand superstar shakeup?
I enjoy the shakeup just because it gives us new stuff to look at, because we've been looking at the same maybe 10 people all year. So I like a good shakeup.
I believe the same. For me, it's kind of weird. You have 2 pay-per-views that you're pushing with the Greatest Royal Rumble and Backlash, and you have this shakeup still pending. So we don't know where people are going to end. So to already start making Backlash matches, knowing that people might not be on a certain show, it's kind of...
they know what they're doing. They know.
They swear. Wait, speaking of which, Joshua Corn on Facebook says, if we are moving into a golden age of wrestling, we need some golden writers, or else all this talent will be wasted.
I agree.
Agreed.
I agree. And we're seeing this on a regular. Me and T-Shax talked about it. Michael Cole, who is part of the creative team, he seems to always be burying talent on air. His mic skills, I don't know what's been going on these past few months, but he's been very harsh on a lot of the talent. He's been very harsh.
But Corey is always harsh as well.
Corey is a dickhead, so.
Yep. Well, he is. Now, let's wrap the show up really quickly and go into the indie scene. Also, during WrestleMania weekend, we had in New Orleans probably one of the best wrestling weekends ever of all time.
WrestleCon, baby.
Hey, it was Supercard, sponsored by Ring of Honor, where we got to see Cody versus Kenny Omega.
Man, what a match. What a match. It hit some hot spots. I'm not going to say it was on the same level as Ciampa and Gargano, no, but it was a great match. It did have great storytelling. It did have hot spots. We did see Brandy get V-triggered through the table.
Woo, she fine.
Yes, yes. I know Ashley Rose did introduce them, so, you know.
Absolutely, baby. My little brother, Cody. I said, you know what, Cody? I said, little brother, you want to find yourself something to put yourself over into the wrestling communities. You got to find yourself a sweet chocolate valet, brother. Just like our daddy found in my mother. For those who don't know, my mother was Sapphire. Sapphire and our father, Dusty Rhodes, laid down together. I'm just the illegitimate son of a wrestler, baby. I came from the hard streets. And let me tell you something. Gold Dust and Cody Rhodes put hard times on me and my mother down in Georgia, eating KYs and peanut butter sandwiches, baby. But I dug myself up, put on my boots, one lace at a time, brother, and I made myself the man that you see before you today. Ashley Rose, baby. Shout out to my little brother, Cody. Shout out to my lately departed mother.
Thank you, Pimpin' Moolah.
No, this is Ashley Rose, baby.
Ashley Rose.
This is Ashley Rose.
Speaking of Ashley Rose, brother, Cody. Cody did get the win over Kenny Omega after the interference from the Young Bucks, who went to kick Cody, but they end up hitting Kenny Omega. So right now we still don't have a leader of Bullet Club. This is a good story. It's still going on. Maybe we'll have resolution this coming September at the All In event.
Speaking of the Young Bucks showed their natural white asses during Supercard. And would you consider one of the better matches of the evening?
Yes, yes. To jump from one ladder match to another, from the NXT ladder match to Supercard's ladder match, it was a very different feel. I actually think I have my breakout star already of the year in Flip Gordon. He showed out. He put out a match because it was a three-way, it was a three-way tag match for the Ring of Honor three-way tag team champions, you know.
Yes.
So they showed out. They really showed out. Like I said, tag team divisions, to constantly be taking it up, it is a different thing. And when you add in certain other people and still are able to change the levels and adjust your wrestling style, the Young Bucks may be the best tag team in the world.
Awesome. And last but not least, everyone's favorite, well, he's one of my favorites. I don't know about everyone, but he's definitely one of my favorites. El-Patron,
The Alki,
was fired from TNA, well, Global Impact Wrestling. What are your thoughts to close out the show about El-Patron being fired, and what do you think his future is?
Why would you not show up to one of the biggest shows going on that weekend? So
they had WrestleCon. You didn't show up to sign photos, which is basically NXT. It's Comic-Con for wrestlers. You don't show up to that. You don't show up to wrestle. You just don't show up. Half the day is showing up, baby. If I can get up, get my pants on, we halfway through the day. So I don't know, man. He got way too drunk. Maybe what we should talk to Trump about the wall he built. Maybe the portion of the wall didn't let Alberto.
Okay, I'm gonna put your ad up so everyone can find you on social media because you are out of control with that comment.
Am I out of control?
I think that.
Am I out of control?
Yeah, it's not even borderline racist. Like you literally said, "Where's Trump?" to talk about the border, to talk about a Mexican American. Is he Mexican American or just Mexican? No, he's just Mexican. He's not Mexican American.
What? I'm saying that maybe he didn't make it because Trump's wall.
Oh!
Yeah, that's where he was going.
That's where he was going. You confused me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. T-Shack, you got him on that one? You supporting him?
Yeah, I knew where he was going.
Audience, did you know that's where he was going? No. Okay. Okay, I'm glad you know. T-Shack, thank you.
Let me clarify. He didn't show up because of Trump's wall.
Okay, still, oh my God, it still just doesn't sound as good as it should. So, where can everyone find both of you on social media?
Oh, well, on Twitter, I am T-Shack Talks with a Z at the end.
I'm everywhere at Hulk A Tone. I do not compartmentalize anything. So, find me.
That was a shot.
Yeah. Okay. WWE. Can we do we allowed to do what's it called? Sparkle Fingers from
Spirit Fingers.
Spirit Fingers. What was that from? Bring It On.
Yes.
Bring It On.
I don't think that's right. That's not how it went.
I'm not a cheerleader.
I'm not either.
I am not a comedian. I am a co-host.
Shout out to my girl Nia Jax.
Shout out to Nia Jax.
Just want to throw that in there because I love her so much.
Good night, folks.